Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at some Captain Commando figures from 52 Toys. Welcome to the party, pal! Okay, so let's take a look at the packaging really quick. As I mentioned in the intro, these are from 52 Toys. These are Captain Commando figures I picked up from Locker Toys. There were 4 in this first wave. I have 3 of them here. The one that I do not have is here in the cross cell. I am missing Ginzu the Ninja in this opening. I do have one Ginzu Ninja, but I decided not to open him. I'm keeping him mint on card. I do have a double of this Mac the Knife. If you go to Locker Toys, you can buy a set of all 4, or you can buy them individually. The only one that's missing individually is Ginzu the Ninja. I probably should have bought a 4-pack, but it was a little bit less, obviously, to get 3 instead of 4. So I got these 3. I passed on these 2 the first time because they looked a little bit too silly to me. But now, over time that wore on me, and I thought, you know what, I could use them. Not everything has to be so serious. Let's give these a try, because this one and the Ninja, I like the card back so much. The design of these. This is how I always want to see 118 and 375. It could be, a card back with a bubble. Now, it could be collector friendly, card back with a bubble. But this is how I tend to want to see my 118 375 inch figures. It's just very nostalgic for me. And it's just, the packaging that I prefer. So each card back is colored like the figure. So green for the baby, blue for Captain, and purple for Mac. Very sturdy card back. They were all well packaged. Nice artwork. It does give you a name here of who designed it. The artwork does have a brief bio here on the back. Baby head, it says, a genius baby who rides on a robot of his own creation. His robot is not only powerful, but also agile. There is a QR code there, I think for 52 Toys if you're interested. Mac the Knife here. An alien warrior who is very swiftly with his 2 special knives which melt the enemy. It does say swiftly there. I think they meant swift. And then we've got Captain Commando with a cool looking ray gun. Captain Commando, the leader of the commando team, he not only has a tough body but also a sharp brain. He wears the energy glove, which discharges fire and electricity. Some more bio stuff there. Very cool card backs though. Very nice. Hopefully I can get one more Ginzu Ninja to open. But today we're going to open these 3. So that is the packaging, guys. That's enough about that. Let's get them open. Okay, we've got Baby Head, Mac the Knife, and Captain Commando out of packaging. And I'll quickly show you, they all 3 came with this brochure. It's nicely folded underneath the bubble. I do have these hexanoids, but again, just like these guys, they were so nice, I decided not to open them. I need to get a second set. And here are the Captain Commando figures. I am familiar with these, this Legacy of Lovecraft. I've seen these before. I think they're 5 POA. It's not something for me, but I have seen those before. I'm not familiar with this one though. Whatever this is, I can't read that. It does say action figure. Not quite sure. I'm not sure either if they're articulated or if they are 5 POA, kind of like these, because I know these 2 are fully articulated modern figures, these hexanoids and the Captain Commandos that we're going to talk about now. Here's like a checklist, a really cool checklist. It's got lots of figures on here. I've not seen lots of these. They even have some Disney ones here at the bottom. If you know anything about these, let me know in the comments below. There's the 2 hexanoid figures. Here are the 4 Captain Commando figures and lots of others. So very cool. Always liked these when I was a kid. Very cool, but all 3 came with that. Let's start with Captain Commando. He is a very cool figure. He's very fun. Been playing around with them just for a few minutes now. I've had them out in between takes here. Very cool. Very cool. They all do stand about 4 inches. These are modern 118 figures. They're fun, you know, they're based on a video game. I'm not familiar with the game, actually. I don't remember ever playing it. But you can see, you can tell they are very, you know, they stuck to the design of the game, which is nice. The colors pop, got a lot of articulation. You can see the sculpting in the hair, the shading. Very cool. He's got a belt buckle. Definitely a captain or some kind of sheriff, some kind of marshal. They all have oversized feet, which makes them balance really well. Oversized in the fact they're quite wide. They do have peg holes, though they don't come with stands. Each one does come with some accessories. I'll go over that. But for articulation, he's got a ball hinge shoulder, and he's got a swivel head. It's probably on a ball joint, but it is so tight, or like close his chin, you know, to his neck. You don't really get much up and down. You do get a side to side, but not a up and down, but definitely a side to side. Sunglasses are painted, sculpted right on. But you can almost get a nice T-pose, even with these big block shoulders. It's almost a hinged ball joint there. So you can see it does give you some up and down. So very nice shoulder articulation. Single hinged elbow. Swivel wrist is a swivel wrist. Bicep swivel, you can see there. He has a diaphragm crunch and a waist swivel. So you can get the, you know, turning sideways. It's not the best swivel, but the crunch is pretty good. But it's nice, you know, it's nice that they're both there. He does have ball hinged hips. You can see they go out about that far. Thigh swivel. A double hinge knee, which is nice. He does have a boot cut right there above that boot. And he does have a rocker ankle or ankle pivot. So he is a modern articulated 118 figure, you know, based on his video game design. I did switch out one of his hands already. He did come with 2 fists, but you can pop off the hands. You can see they're just plugs. And I did kind of have to, you know, back and forth twist to pop it out. Put on his gun holding hand. This is his sort of, I'm calling it a ray gun, not really sure. Almost looks like a satellite dish kind of gun. Very 80s or 90s. I'm not really sure when this game is from. And it pops in, it fits really well in his hand. I think I'm going to leave this hand on just because it's, you know, it does almost look like a fist already. But you can put the gun in rather than take this fist out. Back and forth, just leave it in. That's what I'm gonna do. Gun's got a little bit of paint apps, some red on the trigger, red in the back. Otherwise, it's silver. You know, it's a light plastic, a brittle plastic, so that handle can break. So you just kind of gotta be careful with it. But the figure is nice. You know, it's a good plastic. Came out of the package. I'll say you don't have to heat these up. He's not loose by any means. I think he's right where you want to be, almost a little bit too easy to move. I wonder over time if he will get loose. But you can see, you can pose him really well. He's got everything you need. Very good figure. I like him a little bit more than I thought I would. Very cool. Very cool figure. But again, you know, it's in a genre, it's sort of a style that I'm not used to. I do like more realistic looking figures, but he is very good. Let's look at Mac the Knife now. And Mac the Knife has all the same articulation, but he is a little more hindered. You can see how small his little waist is there, but he does have the same articulation. Shoulders get even higher because he doesn't have the pads. His ankle, though, it's a little more hindered because of the cuff of the shoe. So you don't get as much rocker action pivot as you do with Captain Commando. But still, you get a lot. Very cool design. I don't know, the story behind him, but he looks like a mummy in some like hip hop kind of outfit. That's just kind of how I see it. Does have some tattered orange trunks. I think because he's kind of a different color, you can kind of see his sort of inner workings there in some poses. Unlike Captain, who's kind of a solid blue all the way around. So when you get him in these poses, you don't kind of notice the sort of the pins in there. He does come with these two swords. I'm not sure what these swords are called, but they do look sort of Arabian or Middle Eastern type swords. Both hands are fitted to hold them. They're quite short. He is called Mac the Knife, so it, comes with two knives. About that gun, the ray gun over there, these do feel a little brittle, like they could snap if you're not careful with them. But this guy's cool. His colors, either one of these, with some weathering, if you're going to do that. I'm not going to do that, but I know some of you customizers, if you weathered these guys, just give them a good coat of gray or some black on him. It could turn this guy into a really much more realistic looking figure. His shoes are going to be a little hard to hide, but again, I think with some weathering, that could easily be done. If that's something that you like to do. He does have these sort of bandages hanging from his back. You can see his kind of spine down the middle here. Again, there's nice shading in all of the, I think they're wraps. Like I said, I think he's a mummy, but I'm not quite sure. Capcom, that peg there. Very cool though. And he's not the Ginsu, the ninja guy, but he does look like he can pretty much do all those sort of ninja poses that you would need. I think these guys would photograph really well, using rather than even weathering them with some paint, just taking photos with them and using a filter could change these guys from very comic booky to much more realistic. The one that's the most different here is Baby Head. Now, Baby Head here did come with some extra instructions that none of the others did, and they have to do with using his accessories, which are these missiles that shoot out of his knees. See that there? It does have a flame effect on the back. It's a smoke effect, and it's just a little missile with a yellow tip on it. And it's a 4-step directions. Obviously, I can't read that, but it does say Baby Head there, and they are numbered. I did take it. I did do it one time already, but that did come with this, and both of these missiles were in this nice clear package, separate under the bubble, and it was nicely folded and taped. I'll try to show that to you here before we go. Articulation's different on this guy because he's such a big chunky boy. I'll just say right off the bat, my disappointment that I have with this guy is he is really goofy, which is something that I'm not really into, and this is the reason why I hesitated buying this one. But the baby doesn't come out. Now, I know you could probably pry him out, but he does appear to be glued in, maybe even molded in. But I'm sure you can get him out. But I wanted to put like Grogu or the baby Rocket Raccoon from the Epic Heroes in there. I thought that would look really cool. Like these two, with some weathering, this suit can go from very comic booky silly to looking pretty awesome, I think, if you were down to do that, especially with these gray arms, these gray metal arms here. But the baby, blowing a bubble, pretty silly. Does have these pipes sort of coming out of the back of his seat. There is some texturing even on the seat there. I think you can see that. It looks like a basket, a baby basket. Let's go over the articulation really quick. Like the Captain Commando, he almost gets a full T-pose. It's pretty good. He doesn't have that sort of up and down that Captain has, but still he gets pretty high up there. It's got a single jointed elbow. You can hear that. It's brand new, so it's almost a ratchet, but it's not. I think it's just new. Single hinged elbow, swivel wrist, spins. His waist, he doesn't have the doubles, kind of the crunch and then the spin here. He really only has a twist. And I've noticed as it crunches, it does crunch. So it's like a waist crunch from the navel here. But what I noticed is when you turn him and you crunch him, there's like a gap now. I think you could barely see that. And you just click it back in. So whenever you turn it, it kind of naturally pops out. And I think it was designed this way. And I put him back. There's that little gap. And you just kind of click him back in. So when he's looking forward, you can't see that gap. It's not there. But as soon as you turn him, he sort of rises up out of that, whatever that is, that engineering that they did. And then you can click him back in. He does also have the same belt as Captain Commando, the little star there. Ball hinged hips, thigh swivel, double hinge knee. He has, instead of having the boot cut like those guys do, it's more of a calf cut because he is kind of chunky. And then he's got the pivot, the rocker ankle. Also has the peg hole. Now to get the cap, I'll call that a cap on the knee, it's not that easy. I have a little bit of a nail now, and I got it out earlier just using my nail. You just kind of have to pry at it. You can see I almost, oh, there it goes. I got it off. And you can see it's just a cap. I did drop it on the ground, so let me pick it up really quick. There it goes. So it comes off just like that. And then you have to pop that little yellow cap out. Let's see if I can get it out using the missile. So you can see there on the directions, you've got to take that cap out of the figure. So this, it's that's part two. So part one, part two is to separate that yellow piece there, which is not the easiest to do. And then you can place it back in. Now I'm going to pause the video because this might take me a second because it is really difficult to get that out. When I come back, I'll show you how it looks. All right, you can see I got it out. It was not easy. I did place the missile in the knee, and obviously you've got two knees and you've got two missiles, so you can do this to both. Here is the little plug that comes out. You can see the back of it. Now, it was difficult to get out. I have a tweezer set of different kinds of tweezers. I ended up having to use this one in order to push the pin out from the back. Just take that out for you guys so you can see. So here it is without the cap, and I had to push it through like that. So it wasn't easy. And I'll admit, after this video, I'm probably going to put this cap back in there, and I don't think I'll ever do that again. It's just too difficult. It's not fun. And collecting, this is supposed to be fun for me. So anything that becomes a pain or gets difficult to do, I won't do it. So I probably will put that pin back in there when I'm done. But I did want to show you guys. It's only the second time I've done it. It was actually harder this time. Somehow I got it out the first time much easier without those tweezers. But I did have to use the tweezer this time. Maybe I did the wrong knee. I think I might have done that knee last time. Maybe I should have done that. but it's really not supposed to be that difficult. And it looks cool though. It looks cool, but I don't think I'll use it. So I think out of the three, this one I like, the Captain, I like a lot more than I thought I would. And this one's about what I thought. This guy's good. I knew he'd be good. I could just tell by his design and how they have him posed and the different pictures that I've seen. I'm a little disappointed though, from the very beginning I said, because this little baby won't come out. I'm sure you can get him out with a Dremel or a knife or something, and I might do that. I don't know. These guys are about $25 a pop, so I'm not sure if experimenting on a $25 figure. But we'll see. Let's do a quick size comparison now so you can see how these guys stack up to some of the other 118 lines. Okay, so here are the new 52 Toys Captain Commando figures with some other 118 lines. And I think you could see from this picture right away that they are on the bigger side of 118. I think they're all at least 4 1/4. We've got the Chicken Fried Toys Marshall. I thought it's funny. We have the Captain, so I thought, why not the Marshall? Got the Boss Fight Studio Phantom. We've got the E11 from Toys Alliance Acid Rain Annex 2179. We've got one of my new vintage collection figures, Hu Yang. And we've got Mira from the DC Spin Masters. Now, Hu Yang and Mira from the Spin Masters, those are 3.75 figures. Hu Yang's a little tall for a Star Wars Vintage Collection figure, but both are still shorter than Babyhead, Mac the Knife, and Captain Commando. And even the Marshall here with his hat on is still shorter. These are 4-inch figures, E11, Phantom, and the Chicken Fried Toys figure, and they are still shorter. So these are on the larger end. They're the taller side of 118, but I still think they fit in, depending on how you use them. It's more, I think, the aesthetic, the design, the colors that they've chosen, staying true to the game, and the design of the game and the design of the character in the game that kind of throws them off a little bit. As you can see, all these figures here that I've compared them to are modern, realistic looking figures. I don't have a lot of unrealistic type figures. I tend to, like with my Spin Master, realistic looking figures over the sort of comic booky ones. But that's just me. I know everybody has their own tastes, but these are on the larger end. I do like them a lot. I think I can recommend them. As long as you know what you're getting. I think if you've seen this video, you can kind of say, oh, I really like Babyhead, or, I don't, or, this is a buy, this one's not. I think I've only ever seen one other video, Awesome Action Toys. I think he did a video on these. I think it was him. So I haven't seen too much talk about these, but I do think they fit into 118, into the world building. If you're just a fan of the game, I think these are pickups. I think they're pickups. The articulation is really good, very modern, very, very nice figures. Again, I think I like this one a lot more than I thought I would. This one is really good. I assumed he would be, and he is. And I am a little disappointed in the Babyhead. Not just because the baby can't get him out, but those knee coverings, that's a little bit more, it's a little bit more difficult than I think it should be. But it's a great idea. It's a great idea. All right, so that's the video, guys. Went a little long, but these are pretty fun, and that's what this is all about, collecting. It's all about having fun and, finding those things that make you smile, that make you happy. And these do make me happy. Playing with them, I've got a kick out of it. They're fun. So I can recommend them. Let me know if you're going to pick them up. If you already have them, let me know what you think of them. And I'm going to try to take just a few photos on the way out. And I'll catch you next time. Please remember to like, comment, and if you want, please subscribe. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.